Hello everyone, welcome to Moonride. I'm Dave Johnson Chang, the man of the moon. And today's video, I really want to send out to support anyone who is non-binary, gay or lesbian, kind of curious, or who just has a different way of being heterosexual or homosexual, or however they choose to do that. I think this is extremely important because when I was very young, I experienced a good deal of discrimination as a young gay person. And I noticed that now the same people who are used to do that, they had to stop because they met too many gay and lesbian people who they were friendly with, and no longer became like a fashionable thing to be homophobic. Now the ire is turned towards anyone who's transgender or even curious about transgender, or anybody who supports those who are transgender. It's really important to know that this is wrong. There's no difference in discriminating against people who are transgender or disliking them because they're Irish or a different color or different anything else. If you live in the United States of America or Australia, let's recognize that these are free countries. You are allowed to be whatever gender you choose to be. It is nobody else's business. And let's agree that the only people who are really interested in your business are trying to get something. They're trying to be superior, ethically, whatever. This is nonsense. If you believe in our system of government, if you believe in freedom wherever you live, you have the freedom to be who you are. I just want to say that, but also just channel if you are in some kind of insecure situation, whatever your proclivities might be, if you're just different. I'm going to channel some work right now that will be helpful. Right, so just to let you know, I feel like I'm walking up the stairs. Sometimes I'm doing this when I do deeper channeling work. Going in a little deeper now. Again, it's like climbing upstairs. This figure has shown up, and it's kind of like almost like Glinda the Good Witch in this circular ball. She's floating towards me. Okay, she says, "Call me Ida." Okay, Ida. I'm just gonna invite Ida. And keep in mind, I've done a lot of protection around myself before starting. So I'm just gonna ask Ida to go ahead and speak through me. There is beauty in difference. If everything were the same, none of it would be beautiful. There are people in every culture who, for their need to control, try to put everything into some kind of category. This is their need. It is not your need. The important thing to do is separate yourself from their needs and focus on what is useful for you. One thing that's useful for you is that if you find people who are trying to categorize things, it is very important for you to notice they are not your friends. They are not the people who you want to spend your time with in this lifetime. They're just a foil for you to know the difference between open-minded people, people who are happy on this planet, and those who are not. Anybody that obsessively defines and categorizes is merely doing this because they have a need to control. They have a need to control others to make them conform so that they feel comfortable. This is their issue. And ultimately, they will experience the karma, if you will, of being a person who's always separate, always defining, always insisting. No one will want to be around them that is from the light. And so they will remain in darkness with others who remain in darkness. And one day they will deviate from the perfect norm, and they will also feel shamed by this. For yourself, there are many people, a whole community of, let's call them lovers, who do not care how you define yourself and your sexuality, who welcome the variety. They may not be the ones that you see on YouTube because they don't necessarily make the most money doing that. But most people are like this. When we say most, we mean 55% of the people who are out there are perfectly happy with a variety because they are focused on others and not only themselves. They will turn in conversation and really listen to the person they are talking to. They will be curious about differences as opposed to shutting down differences. These are the people you must gravitate to. Those who are not so are merely showing you their own colors. Move on, leave them behind. Don't give them any more attention than they already have. And keep in mind the attention that they are getting will eventually leave them cold and alone. In a way, we can feel sorry for such people because their world is so full of lines, so full of barriers, so full of things they cannot cross. Let us put it that way. However, if you come from a space of open-mindedness, if you are yourself not typical, you will be attracted to others who are not typical. You'll create your own communities, your own spaces of love. It will be beautiful. You can feel perhaps the party that goes on in those kinds of places where everybody is open-minded and accepting of individuality, where people do not feel uncomfortable because someone is different from them. This is a place of happiness for most people, and it is a place of happiness for anyone who is not necessarily following the norm. There are heterosexual males who do not feel that they are normal. There are heterosexual males who do not feel the need to oppress others because they have totally accepted who they are and because they see themselves in a sort of different light as being not average, but being powerful in their own security and insights. There are, of course, a variety of other people, heterosexual females, who are even more likely. There are minorities of every kind. And those minorities, when they are together, when they express love for each other because of their differences, are so much happier. And as a body and a group, they are much happier. Gravitate to such people. The most important thing, as Dave has mentioned, is that you not take on board any of those prejudices. It is up to them to work them out. It is not your business to change their mind. It is not your business to spend one moment of your time considering what is best for them. Consider what is best for you. Consider that if you want a personification of God, it is about variety. The more variety, the better the universe gets to know itself. It is the lawyer's job to narrow definitions so that they have one and only one meaning. It is the poet's job to create variety and see changes. The law is always changing because it must. It must maintain a relationship to the variety. Those who are inclined toward such activities as defining will always be defining things, whereas those who move towards variety will always be embracing variety. Consider also how being different from another has helped you in this lifetime. How has it made you who you are? Those experiences, good or bad, can only be felt by you at this time in your body. All of that information is important. Everything that you experience is important, good or bad. Allow this to simply be. Allow yourself to simply be. There is no need for criticism. We all get there in the end. That is, even the darkest person eventually actualizes and comes to understand who they are. Allow this to be a time where you can also find out who you are, experience what you are experiencing, both as an individual and within a group. It is all perfect. You are all perfect. You are all here at this time, learning what you need to know. It will work perfectly in the end. You must trust us about this. You can also look around you and you can see the trajectory of people's lives. Those who are learning, those who are more open, ultimately are happier than those who are not. Let this be your guide. Let those who have more experience than you, but who are open, be your guides. Find your guides. Do not suffer in silence. There are people out there who will guide you along the way. If you need to, simply ask Spirit to bring them to you, and they will help. We will end this transmission. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. And give yourself a loving hug today. Everybody deserves that. Take a moment and see all of the good things that you are and all of the good things that the universe has to offer. Thanks so much for watching.